Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Season 1 of The Sandman on Netflix, and this is based off of Neil Gaiman's graphic novels, and it's also from David S. Goyer, and this series stars Tom Sturridge as Dream, or Morpheus, the titular Sandman, who winds up being released from over 100 years of imprisonment to find that his land of dreams has been gutted and dreams and nightmares have run away, and he needs to fix everything that's been going on while also dealing with the occurrence of a vortex, which I don't know if I want to get into it. You could just watch the show of specifically what a vortex is, but it's a young girl in this case who is trying to find her long-lost brother, and all while trying to stop the Corinthian, played by Boyd Holbrook, who is an escaped nightmare, and he's going around really encouraging people to murder each other and do all kinds of horrible things to each other, but he wants to take down Dream. And this series, from a visual standpoint, is really awesome. The design and everything really brings it to life. Even though in the second half of this first season, a lot of it's spent in our world and feels very mundane a lot of the times. And that's one of my biggest issues with this, is you have all of this craziness that you could build off of, and you spend so much of the time just dealing with, like, Florida. And I thought that was odd, but, it's trying to have, like, a human connection here. And I feel like this first season can easily be cut kind of down the middle into very specific pieces. The first half of this season is really focusing on Dream getting out of his prison, which the first episode, I feel like, is a bit clunky in trying to set up everything. There's some highlights in it, like Charles Dance is in it. He's this very rich occultist who winds up capturing Dream, and then his descendants are causing a whole bunch of problems, including David Thewlis, who gets a whole episode dedicated to him early on, and that's one of the better episodes. It's really unnerving and creepy in this diner and how he's manipulating people. And there's other episodes earlier on that I feel like really steal the show, like the whole entire episode 4 where he's dealing with hell and meeting Lucifer, played by Gwendolyn Christie. That's really cool. And then also episode 6, which Herbie Howell Baptiste, who I've seen pop up in a few things, like she was in The Good Place a bit, in Barry, Killing Eve. She's great in this as Death. And that whole episode where it focuses on Death and his relationship with this man who lives a very long time and they meet up every 100 years. Those were cool episodes and how they really built on the mythos of things. You have a really strong cast, except, like, I saw people praising Tom Sturridge as Dream. I don't get it. Like, I thought his performance was weird and flat, but that was just me. Like, he was probably my least favorite part of this. Boyd Holbrook I thought was very charismatic. Patton Oswalt and Mark Hamill lend their voices to two characters that are a lot of fun. Vivian Ekpong, who plays Lucien, who's the librarian in Dream, is great. I think she's provides a great anchoring place here. Mason Alexander Parker, who plays Desire, they're very alluring, and they give a really great performance in the series. And you have other people like John Cameron Mitchell, who I know, who played Joe Exotic in that series on Peacock, who gives a good performance. Stephen Fry, who plays a character who you meet later in the season, I loved. I thought he was great. And overall, like, there are a lot of great performances in this. The visuals are really impressive. The world building's impressive. I do feel like the story gets a little convoluted and a little bogged down in a lot of mundane things in the second half of the season, where honestly you don't even spend a whole lot of time with Dream. And there's some good human drama that's added in, but it just feels less interesting and engaging and bold than the first half of the season. And it does have some great stingers leading into the next season, which I think that's interesting, got my attention, and I'd definitely be down for more expanding upon Hell and Christie's Lucifer. So I think this first season did a good job of setting things up, world building, offering up some cool, interesting characters with some strong performances. A couple of bold and isolated episodes that really stand out, and in general, was an engaging first season of a show. I do think that some of the narrative wasn't as interesting as the season went on and kind of got bogged down into some characters that didn't feel like they were as weighty into the story. But in the end, I think it goes into some interesting places. In the last episode, how everything plays out grabbed my attention, and I felt like it was some satisfying resolution to the season and a lot of the threads that they set up along the way. But those are my thoughts on The Sandman Season 1. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.